Hi, this is Laura Whitmore with Acoustic Nation, and I'm here with Mike Dawes. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Great to be here.
So you just flew in and your arms are tired?
Very tired, yeah. Well, actually, we drove from
Right.
a very, very different part of California. As an Englishman, I didn't realize California was so big, but we did maybe 6 shows in California, and they've all been about 6 hours apart. So
You could probably fit 6 Englands in.
yeah, exactly. It's incredible. But really, really happy to be here, and it's been a really good time so far.
So tell me about the tour that you're on right now.
Well, this tour is called the International Guitar Night, and it's set up by a chap from California, actually, called Brian Gore. And he started it maybe 18 or 20 years ago. And it's him, and then he brings 3 sort of guest guitarists from all over the world. So this year we have myself from the UK, Pino Forestier from Rome, Italy, who's one of my guitar heroes, so it's great to share the stage with him. And an amazing guy who called Kike Sinesi, who's an Argentinian player from Buenos Aires. Does a lot of tango and things like that. So there's a real mix of styles, and it's great. The first half we do our solo shows, and the second half we collaborate, do duets, and then some fun quartets at the end. So it's great for guitar geeks like me to just experiment with different styles and learn a lot of new things. So it's been great.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a long tour as well. So
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many more dates do you have?
Well, we did 3 weeks in Canada in November of this, and we've done this is a 6-week tour, and we're on I think week 3 now. So we're going to go back over to the East Coast tomorrow. We're flying to Massachusetts.
You think you are?
We think. we were in the East Coast to begin with. We just made it out. We were the only flight that didn't get cancelled because of the snow.
Yeah.
So now we're going back over to the danger zone, and we'll be doing Massachusetts, New York, Montana, and Baton Rouge in Louisiana.
Montana is not near Massachusetts.
Lots of planes,
Well, that's cool. So let's talk a little bit about, sort of your beginnings. What made you get into, I guess, not just guitar, but the style of guitar that you play?
Well, this particular style, I guess, is a combination of music I grew up listening to with friends and music I grew up listening to with family, really. I was very much into, the normal kid guitar stuff at school, Guns N' Roses and all that kind of thing, right? I think my first band ever was with some friends at school, and we played Sweet Child of Mine, things like that. But at home, I was introduced to a lot of fingerstyle music by some family and extended family players like Pierre Van Susan and Eric Roche and Michael Hedges and people like that. And then this website YouTube happened, and I got introduced to a lot of sort of 2006 era steel string players doing some quite unusual things with the guitar, and those, I guess, 2 schools kind of combined, and what I'm playing now is some sort of weird rock hyper energetic version of traditional fingerstyle techniques with some unusual things thrown in there. It's a bit weird.
So how did you develop that? You were just
bored
and you're
an obsessive personality and living in a small town with not much else to do, really. But yeah, as I said, inspired by a lot of other great players. Some of the technical approaches are by no means new. They've been adapted over several decades. But it's kind of it's taken a while, and it's great at the moment. I'm in a very creative place where every sort of new song is bringing some sort of new idea, new sort of technical idea to the table, and using that you create new musical ideas, which is what it's all about. It's all about the music at the end of the day. So I guess the technique is just a means to an end, really. Yeah.
So you mentioned YouTube. You've had some success there.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's great, and I owe a lot to it. My first ever proper solo release was a cover of a song called Somebody That I Used to Know, which was a big smash hit by a guy called Gotye down in Melbourne, and I covered that song after my sister showed me this sort of amazing video of this Canadian band called Walk Off the Earth playing sort of 5 people on one guitar.
Oh yes, I've
seen that.
Yeah,
it's amazing, and you've got one person playing the bass line, one person playing percussion, a guy with a beard that goes like this, and then I tried to sort of combine all of those onto one person playing it on one guitar, right? Yeah. And that kind of went viral, and I had some success with it, which I'm very fortunate to have, and I guess it's just been full steam ahead then. It's worked on the first album, got the album out there, which you very kindly reviewed.
Yeah.
And here I am in California with a bit of backache, but a smile and some water.
California water.
California water.
I don't know.
You guys do have winter, right? Because it's pretty.
No.
No. I was not prepared for this. But yeah, great to be here.
Yeah. So did that like what were your thoughts when that video just went off the charts? Did that surprise you?
It was surprising. It was crazy, but at the same time, I kind of felt there was something different about that piece of work than things that I'd done previously. There was a lot more of an emotional attachment to the song and the process behind it.
Right.
So I felt it had this extra, I don't know, there is no word to describe it really. There was just this extra passion and power behind it. Yeah, heart, exactly. I know it sounds cheesy, but with instrumental music, I've learned very quickly from that and other things that, you know, if you write from here and not from here, it just resonates with people. You know, and there are clear differences in, how people respond to a piece of music, directly related to, I guess, the mental process and what's gone into it. You know, so that was a really quick lesson I learned, and I'm really, really very fortunate to have learnt it and had that opportunity.